Hey everyone, it's PB Ekotaku. We once again have some somber news. It was announced on March 8th in Japan that Akira Toriyama, best known as the creator of the Dragon Ball series, passed away a week prior on March 1st. He was only 68 years old. To say Toriyama's passing is rocking the anime world would be an understatement. His most famous work, Dragon Ball, spans decades, starting in 1984, and to this day continues with Dragon Ball Super. 2024 actually marks the 40th anniversary of not only Dragon Ball itself, but the series as a whole. Dragon Ball actually started on December 3rd, 1984. Before I realized what anime even was, I remember watching Dragon Ball as a kid and thought it was really cool. Due to how inconsistent anime was shown on TV when I was a kid, Dragon Ball disappeared, and the next thing I knew, Dragon Ball Z was here. Obviously, I was blown away by it. Anime was still shown inconsistently, and TV stations would often restart from episode 1 just when things were starting to get good. With Dragon Ball Z's penchant for taking several episodes to power up, this was pretty infuriating, but I still held on. After Dragon Ball Z ended, Dragon Ball GT was next, but I never really got into it. Several years would pass until we saw the series again in anime form with Son Goku and his friends return. That happened in 2008, and it wouldn't be until 2014 when we got the Battle of the Gods movie. Shortly after the release of the Resurrection F movie in 2015, the Dragon Ball Super anime and manga began and continues to this day in the latter form. I really loved Dragon Ball Super, and that got me back into watching anime. I love Dragon Ball so much that back when I used to draw, my style was really inspired by Toriyama, so a lot of the characters I drew ended up looking like Dragon Ball characters. I still remember my art teachers hating that and telling me that I needed to draw a different way. Kinda weird coming from an art teacher, right? Anyways, I think Dragon Ball is timeless in the anime world, especially when multiple generations can say that Dragon Ball, in some form, was a part of their childhood. Even 40 years from now, I think Dragon Ball will still be known and relevant. While going through my closet, I found a sealed prize figure of Goku as he appeared in Dragon Ball wearing samurai armor. I've had this figure for a long time and never opened it. I'd like to take this time to unbox it and give it a review. Now before I get into it, I do want to say this figure is a little old and released in April 2018. Because of that, it's not readily available in retail, but I'll try to find some listings for it. The box actually looks pretty cool. Keep in mind that it doesn't come with all the background stuff. As you can see, it's your typical prize figure packaging. Nothing special here. Here's the samurai helmet. I actually think it looks really cool. Then we have the equally cool looking main body, followed by Goku's faceplate, and finally we have Goku's hair pieces. The assembly process is super simple. In this case, I'll put on the helmet piece. We'll attach the hair parts to Goku's faceplate. We have to use the flat hair piece to get the helmet on. We'll attach the helmet next, then attach the head to the main body, and we're done. Like I said, super easy. Let's take a closer look. Here's a close-up of the helmet and Goku's face. It's not just the helmet, but the whole figure has multiple paint finishes. A metallic paint finish for the gold trimmings, a glossy finish on the main part of the helmet, and a matte finish for the textured parts. As you can see, there is also a gold Shenron adornment. In addition, there are gold Kame logos on both sides at the front of Goku's helmet. Those are some nice touches. Here's Goku without the helmet and showing his signature hairstyle. His hair has the typical low-quality paint job you see on prize figures. Because of that, I prefer to display him with his helmet. On the plus side, you can see more of his face, which looks just fine. I also like how Bandai somewhat hid the copyright text on the back of Goku's hair. Here's the rest of the figure. It looks really good for a prize figure. Goku has 2 additional gold decorations on his breastplate. Like the helmet, the Kame logo is present here too. While the portions of the figure painted in black have that typical prize figure look, the matte finish armor does a good job of concealing all of that. You can probably see the paint is a little messy in a few areas. Let's go deeper. What probably stands out are the white ties. Some of the paint on the ties bleeds into the black parts of Goku's outfit. In addition, the gold trim on the wrist guards is a little messy, but it's not too egregious. there's also a visible seam line on Goku's leg. However, these quote-unquote flaws are only noticeable at extremely close scrutiny. None of these things are visible even when viewing at an arm's length. For display options, you can have Goku without the samurai helmet and show his iconic hairstyle. If you're displaying this in a common area and want something super recognizable to others, go with this option. It honestly doesn't look bad. However, if you want something cooler and more eye-catching, display Goku with the samurai helmet. To me, the helmet pops more, and if I'm gonna display Goku in a different outfit, I want him wearing the whole thing. I think this is a really good prize figure. Samurai Goku doesn't suffer from the typical prize figure flaws, or at the very least, those flaws are well concealed. No matter what form he's in, Goku is such a cool and iconic character. I think any anime fan or figure collector should have at least one Goku figure. Since Goku is sitting down and doesn't have a base, he's very easy to display. You can put him in the front row of your shelf and he won't obscure the back row. I think he would work best as a desk companion though. I'm glad I finally opened this figure up. It was a great purchase. I bought this at Tokyo Otaku Mode during their 2021 super sale for about $25, but it came with 90% of the price back in points, which was just under $24, so that was a great deal. The lowest priced listing I could find for this Goku figure was at Amazon. With shipping and before tax, this will cost $37. That's pretty much standard pricing for prize figures in the USA. I wasn't able to find them in stock at Japanese stores, so this is likely your best bet. And that's it for the review. I'd like to dedicate this video to the memory of Akira Toriyama. Thank you for giving us Dragon Ball. I forgot to mention this before, but Akira Toriyama was also the character designer for Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo, and that is one of my all-time favorite video games. What drew me to the game was seeing the art and realizing the Chrono Trigger characters were drawn by the same guy who did Dragon Ball. So Akira Toriyama, thank you for bringing two of my favorite things into my life. Rest in peace, legend. We'll miss you.